Unstoppable. The rise of the 2025 Big Four queens, Coco, IGA, Aryna, and Elena dominate with ice-cold mentality. A new era dawned, one defined not by a single dominant champion, nor by scattered sparks of brilliance, but by four unstoppable forces who reshaped the sport with blistering power, surgical precision, emotional fire, and ice-cold composure. They are the Big Four queens of 2025. Coco Gauff, the fearless warrior. IGA Swiatek, the calculated genius. Aryna Sabalenka, the untamed titan. Elena Rybakina, the silent assassin. Together, they forge a rivalry so intense, so magnetic, so historic, that fans began calling this year the golden age of women's tennis. This is a story of how the Big Four rose, conquered, clashed, and dominated the 2025 season with a level of mental toughness the sport has never seen before. How four queens claimed the throne. For years, tennis fans dreamed of a rivalry era like the one Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray created on the men's side. In 2025, that dream finally became reality. The Big Four queens didn't arrive together. They weren't molded from the same clay. They didn't share a journey. But destiny pushed them onto the same battlefield. White heavy checkmark Coco Gauff, the new generation maverick. A lightning-fast athlete with a brain wired for strategy, Gauff blended Gen Z fearlessness with old-school toughness. At 21, she had transformed from America's rising hope into one of its most compelling champions. White heavy checkmark IGA Swiatek, the mastermind. Swiatek's game wasn't loud. It was lethal, precise, mathematical. She dismantled opponents like a grandmaster in chess. Calm, composed, always 3 moves ahead. White heavy checkmark Aryna Sabalenka, the power queen. Sabalenka was a raging fire of the tour, tennis's hurricane. Her explosive strikes, booming serves, and emotional intensity created a brand of tennis impossible to ignore. White heavy checkmark Elena Rybakina, the ice queen. If Sabalenka was fire, Rybakina was ice. Unmoved, unbothered, unshakable. She played as if her heartbeat didn't change even once. Together, they became the pillars of the sport, untouchable, unstoppable, unforgettable. Coco Gauff, the warrior who refused to break. Gauff's rise wasn't defined by dominance. It was defined by defiance. She didn't walk into 2025 as the strongest hitter, or the tallest, or the most experienced, but she did walk in with unmatched work ethic, spectacular athleticism, a mind built for clutch moments, the belief she could outrun, outthink, and outfight anyone. And she did. Her defining trait? Composure under chaos, asterisk, asterisk. While others cracked in tense moments, Coco grew sharper. The pressure fed her. The crowd energized her. The moment sharpened her instincts. Her season was filled with white heavy checkmark miraculous comebacks, white heavy checkmark fearless tiebreak victories, white heavy checkmark epic 3-hour battles, white heavy checkmark viral moments of swagger and heart. Every time she stepped on court, fans knew something unforgettable could happen. IGA Swiatek, the chess grandmaster of tennis. Swiatek didn't scream. She didn't glare. She didn't talk trash. She simply destroyed with intelligence. Her footwork was poetry. Her shot selection was flawless science. Her discipline was a blueprint young players study like scripture. In 2025, she dominated clay, excelled on hard courts, and expanded her arsenal. Swiatek's ice-cold mentality was unmatched. When matches tightened, she didn't panic. She slowed time. She read her opponent's weaknesses like a book and struck with surgical precision. Where Coco won with fire, IGA won with logic. Where others felt pressure, IGA turned pressure into fuel. Aryna Sabalenka, the unapologetic titan of power. Sabalenka didn't just play tennis. She attacked tennis. She stepped onto court like a warrior entering a battlefield, swinging with the conviction of someone who knew her destiny. Every forehand shook the stadium. Every scream shook her opponents. Every win felt like a conquest. The defining trait of Sabalenka's rise? Fearless aggression, asterisk, asterisk. She didn't retreat. She didn't wait. She didn't second guess. She trusted her strength more than anyone trusted their strategy. The rivalries that ignited the world. What made the Big Four Queens era so thrilling wasn't just their individual brilliance. It was their clashes. Every matchup created a new storyline. Every match felt like a blockbuster event. Fire Coco versus IGA. Fire versus ice. Speed versus precision. Whenever these two battled, fans witnessed a collision of athleticism and intellect. Gauff's hustle versus Swiatek's geometry. Explosive rallies. Wild momentum shifts. Two warriors pushing each other to new heights. Fire Coco versus Sabalenka. Emotion versus emotion. These matches were electric storms. Sabalenka's raw power versus Coco's athletic defense. Intensity. Drama. Crowd roars. Controversial moments. Pure entertainment. Fire Coco versus Rybakina, the silent duel. These were chess matches disguised as tennis. Long rallies. Quiet tension. Respect. Mental endurance. Every point felt like a test of purity and patience. Fire IGA versus Sabalenka. Order versus chaos. Swiatek's methodical precision versus Sabalenka's explosive aggression. A rivalry that always danced on the edge of unpredictability. Fire IGA versus Rybakina. Two ices collide. Cool, stoic, ruthless. A clash that felt like winter storms colliding in the sky. Fire Sabalenka versus Rybakina. Power versus power. When these two hit, the ball sounded different. The matches became highlight reels of pure brutality. The 2025 season felt like watching a four-way chessboard where each queen moved in her own style, creating chaos, beauty, and history. The mentality shift, the true reason they became unstoppable. What truly connected Coco, IGA, Aryna, and Elena wasn't their talent. It was their mindset. The Big Four shared four mental traits. White heavy checkmark 1. Emotional control under extreme pressure. Gauff's poise. Swiatek's breathing routines. Rybakina's calm. Sabalenka's newfound mental maturity. Each developed a way to stay icy in the hottest moments. White heavy checkmark 2. A refusal to break. No matter the score, no matter the pressure, no matter the opponent, they refuse to surrender. White heavy checkmark 3. Evolution. Every loss led to improvement. Coco sharpened her offense. IGA added new serve variations. Sabalenka rebalanced her risk. Rybakina built strength and stamina. White heavy checkmark 4. Destiny level ambition. They weren't chasing trophies. They were chasing legacy. How their dominance changed the WDA forever. The rise of the Big Four Queens shifted the sport. White heavy checkmark record-breaking viewership. White heavy checkmark more prime time slots. White heavy checkmark bigger sponsorships. White heavy checkmark higher prize money. White heavy checkmark renewed global interest. White heavy checkmark new fans flooding the game. Children across the world began choosing their favorite queen. I'm Team Coco. I'm Team IGA. Sabalenka is my hero. Rybakina plays like a goddess. Tennis hadn't seen fan loyalty like this since the Serena Sharapova days. But now, there were four legends in the making. The legacy of the Big Four Queens. As the 2025 season closed, one truth became undeniable. Women's tennis had entered its greatest era yet. Coco, IGA, Aryna, Elena, for queens, for powers, for stories. One unforgettable year. They weren't just champions. They were warriors, thinkers, trailblazers, icons, revolutionaries. And through their rivalry, their dominance, and their ice-cold mental strength, they created something deeper, a legacy of excellence that will inspire generations to come. This is their era. This is their throne. This is the rise of the unstoppable Big Four Queens. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.